the real Nosferatu, a symphony of horror. Greetings, aficionados of the arcane and scholars of the silver screen. Today we journey back a century to explore one of cinema's most enigmatic masterpieces, Nosferatu, a symphony of horror, the film that didn't just birth the horror genre, but also defied the very forces that sought to erase it from history. Prepare to delve into a world where art meets the occult, where legal battles mirror the struggle between light and darkness, and where a single film forever altered the trajectory of cinematic expression. Released in 1922, Nosferatu wasn't just another silent film. It was a pioneering force that carved out the horror genre as we know it today. Directed by the visionary F.W. Murnau and produced by the short-lived Prana Film, this unauthorized adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula became both a masterpiece and a legal nightmare. Why does this film, nearly obliterated by court order, continue to captivate audiences and scholars alike? The birth of a horror classic. To understand Nosferatu, we must first immerse ourselves in post-World War I Germany, a nation grappling with defeat, economic turmoil, and existential dread. The Weimar Republic era, 1919 to 1933, was marked by hyperinflation, political upheaval, and societal anxiety, providing fertile ground for artistic experimentation. Against this backdrop, German Expressionism flourished, a movement characterized by distorted perspectives, stark contrasts, and emotive visuals that sought to externalize inner turmoil. Technological advancements in the 1920s, including improved camera techniques and lighting, propelled the film industry forward. Silent cinema wasn't silent at all. It spoke volumes through imagery and innovative methods. Bram Stoker's Dracula, published in 1897, captivated readers with its blend of Gothic horror and Victorian anxieties. The novel's exploration of sexuality, immortality, and the otherness of the foreign invader resonated deeply with audiences. Desiring to harness this potent narrative for the screen, Prana Film attempted to secure rights from Stoker's estate. Florence Stoker, Bram's widow, refused, leading producer Albin Grau and screenwriter Henrik Galeen to proceed regardless, altering names and settings in hopes of evading legal repercussions. This act of creative defiance set the stage for Nosferatu to become both a groundbreaking work and a controversial subject of intellectual property debates. Production of Nosferatu. Founded in 1921, Prana Film aimed to explore occult and supernatural themes, with Nosferatu as its inaugural project. Prana's existence was ephemeral. The company declared bankruptcy after the legal battles over Nosferatu, making it their first and only production. Friedrich Wilhelm Murnau was a luminary of German cinema. With a background in art history and an affinity for expressionist techniques, his films like Journey into the Night, 1921, showcased his talent for atmospheric storytelling. Murnau's directorial approach in Nosferatu was revolutionary. He eschewed the artificiality of studio sets, opting instead for real locations, a bold move that lent authenticity and depth to the film's eerie aesthetic. Max Shrek, whose surname aptly means fright in German, was cast as Count Orlok. Shrek was a method actor of the Staatliches Schauspielhaus in Berlin, known for his transformative performances. His portrayal of Orlok was so profoundly unsettling that rumors abounded. Was Shrek himself some supernatural being? With elongated limbs, claw-like fingers, and a gaunt visage, Orlok diverged sharply from Stoker's charismatic Dracula, embodying death and decay. This choice was deliberate, reflecting post-war fears of disease and the unknown. Orlok's rat-like appearance symbolized the spread of the plague, a nod to the 14th century Black Death, and a metaphor for societal collapse. Filming and cinematic techniques. Murnau's insistence on shooting in authentic locations was innovative. The film utilized the ports and streets of Wismar and Lübeck to represent the fictional town of Wisborg, grounding the supernatural narrative in real-world settings. The Carpathian sequences were filmed in the High Tatras Mountains of Slovakia, capturing the mystical and treacherous terrain associated with vampire lore. Expressionist cinematography was at the heart of Nosferatu. Fritz Arno Wagner, the cinematographer, employed shadow play, utilized to dramatic effect. Shadows became characters themselves, embodying Orlok's oppressive presence. Fast motion and stop motion, these techniques conveyed the unnatural movements of the vampire, unsettling viewers with their surreal quality. Negative film exposure. Inverted images created ethereal and ghostly visuals, enhancing the film's otherworldliness. The use of framing and composition drew from expressionist art, with oblique angles and distorted perspectives conveying psychological unease. Though the original score by Hans Erdmann is lost, musicologists believe it was designed to synchronize precisely with the film's pacing and emotional beats. In silent cinema, music was paramount. It compensated for the absence of dialogue and guided audience reactions. Live orchestras or pianists would perform during screenings, making each viewing a unique auditory experience. The interplay between image and sound was a precursor to modern film scoring. Legal battles and near destruction. Florence Stoker's legal action against Prana Film in 1923 was based on blatant copyright infringement. The court ruled in her favor, mandating that all copies of Nosferatu be destroyed, a severe punishment reflecting early 20th century attitudes towards intellectual property. This legal battle decimated Prana Film financially and set a precedent for future adaptations, emphasizing respect for source material and authors' rights. Despite the court's order, copies of Nosferatu had already circulated internationally. These surviving prints became the foundation for the film's legacy. The film's unauthorized distribution ironically ensured its preservation. Bootleg copies, translations, and variations proliferated, each adding to the mythos surrounding the elusive masterpiece. Impact on cinema and culture. Nosferatu established visual and thematic conventions for vampire cinema and horror at large. The vulnerability to sunlight, Orlok's destruction by sunlight, was an invention of the film, absent from Stoker's novel, but now a staple in vampire lore. The sympathetic monster, Orlok's portrayal as a tragic, lonely figure, added depth to the character archetype, influencing future narratives. Filmmakers like Guillermo del Toro cite Nosferatu as a seminal influence, and its stylistic elements echo in classics like Psycho, 1960, and Alien, 1979. The scene where Orlok's shadow ascends the staircase is an exemplar of how implication can be more terrifying than explicit depiction. It's a masterclass in suggestive horror, a technique that preys on the audience's imagination. Themes of plague align with the 1922 context, as Europe was not far removed from the Spanish flu pandemic. Orlok's arrival bringing death mirrors societal fears of invisible, unstoppable forces. The film is a cornerstone of German expressionism, pushing the movement's boundaries and influencing global cinema. It demonstrated how film could transcend entertainment to become art, a medium for exploring complex emotions and ideas. The myth and mystery of Max Schreck. Max Schreck remains an elusive figure in cinematic history. With sparse records and a penchant for privacy, he became the subject of speculation. On set, Schreck was rumored to be so absorbed in his role that he only appeared in character, fueling myths of his true nature. While such tales are likely apocryphal, they contribute to the enigmatic aura surrounding both the actor and the film. In 2000, Shadow of the Vampire reimagined the making of Nosferatu, with Willem Dafoe portraying Shrek as an actual vampire. This metafictional approach explored themes of obsession, the cost of art, and blurred lines between reality and fiction. These interpretations highlight enduring fascinations with the uncanny and the sacrifices artists make for authenticity. Restoration and rediscovery. Given its fragmented survival, Nosferatu has undergone extensive restoration. 1984 restoration, the Munich Film Museum undertook a major project to compile the most complete version possible, using prints from various archives. 2006 digital restoration, utilizing modern technology. This effort improved image stability, corrected framing issues, and reinstated original intertitles based on surviving records. These restorations are critical for preservation and allow for academic analysis of the film's techniques and historical context. Anniversary screenings with live orchestral accompaniment have brought Nosferatu to new audiences. Composers like Hans Erdmann and modern artists have created scores, reinterpreting the film's auditory experience. Stage adaptations and inspired works continue to emerge, demonstrating the film's resonance across artistic disciplines. Enduring legacy. The DNA of Nosferatu is found throughout the vampire genre. Visual homages, films like What We Do in the Shadows, 2014, reference Orlok's appearance, blending horror and comedy. Thematic resonance, explorations of isolation and otherness in works like Only Lovers Left Alive, 2013, echo the film's motifs. Literature, art, and even video games have drawn from Nosferatu, attesting to its broad cultural impact. Scholarly interest in Nosferatu encompasses film studies, cultural analysis, and historical research. Topics include symbolism and metaphor, interpretations of Orlok as a representation of death, war, or societal decay. Cinematic innovation, studies on Murnau's techniques and their influence on narrative storytelling. The film consistently ranks in critiques and lists, such as Sight and Sound's Greatest Films poll, underscoring its status as a masterpiece. As the shadows recede and we conclude our exploration, Nosferatu stands not merely as a relic of the past, but as a living work that continues to inspire and provoke. Its creation amidst adversity, survival against extinction, and profound artistic achievements remind us of cinema's power to transcend time and touch the deepest parts of the human psyche. For those well-versed in the art of film and those newly initiated, Nosferatu offers endless layers to dissect and appreciate. It's more than a film, it's a symposium on fear, creativity, and the relentless pursuit of artistic expression. So dim the lights, embrace the shadows, and let Nosferatu whisper its timeless symphony of horror once more. Thank you for joining this deep dive into cinematic history. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into the art that shapes our world. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your mind sharper.